Hello students, in the last lecture we did Lenz's law and we know the Lenz's law, it opposes the change in the magnetic flux. So the induced EMF is produced in such a way that it tends to produce a current which opposes the change in the magnetic flux that has produced it. So example 6.4 and 6.5 is based on the Lenz's law. In example 4, we have three different loops which are brought inside or it is taken out from the uniform magnetic field. So figure shows a planar loop of different shapes moving out of or moving into a region of a magnetic field which is directed normal to the plane of the loop away from the reader. So here the magnetic field lines is going into the plane of the paper. It is denoted by cross. So the magnetic field lines are going into the plane of the paper. Now we have three different shapes. The first shape is a rectangular shape coil or a loop which is brought inside or it is moving in. The sides is A, B, C, D, that are the vertex given. This is the first planar loop which is coming into the magnetic field. We have to determine what will be the direction of the induced current. Clearly, the magnetic field lines, first you have to see that magnetic field lines is going into the plane of the paper. This is the magnetic field lines going into the plane of the paper. Now suppose this is a rectangular loop. Now when this rectangular loop enter into the magnetic field, the magnetic flux will increase. The magnetic flux will increase. So you see this concept that the magnetic fields are going in. Now the loop is coming into the magnetic field region. So the number of field lines crossing this rectangular loop increases. That is a change in the flux. So there will be an induced current. Now the current induced should be such that it should oppose the magnetic flux. इसको oppose करना है. तो इसमें से field lines क्या होनी चाहिए? निकलनी चाहिए. Suppose the field lines start from here. ये लूप अंदर आई तो एक मैग्नेटिक फील्ड लाइन इंक्रीज हुई, देन इट इज कमिंग इन, दूसरी हुई, तीसरी हुई, इंक्रीज. सो द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड लाइंस शुड कम आउट. नाउ इफ द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड कम्स आउट फ्रॉम दिस रीजन, दिस फेस शुड बिहेव लाइक अ नॉर्थ पोल, एंड इफ इट बिहेव लाइक अ नॉर्थ पोल, देन द करंट प्रोड्यूस्ड इन इट शुड बी इन एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन. सो दिस लूप, say this is the first loop, this loop will have a phase anti-clockwise, will have the phase anti-clockwise, that is the field line should come out from it. So the current is anti-clockwise. So the current is anti-clockwise. So we can start the direction of current from any point. So the direction will be D, A, B, C, D. So the current should flow in an anti-clockwise direction. Clearly, when this loop try to come in, it should oppose this field line. This field line is trying to go inside this region. So the magnetic field line from our region should come out. Now if it comes out, clearly this should be a north pole, or I can apply the thumb rule. The current direction should be anti-clockwise. So my thumb always points out. So the current should be anti-clockwise direction. Second case, we have a rectangular loop. This loop is moving out. This loop is moving out. This is A, B and C. So this triangular loop is moving out. So already the field lines are passing through it. Already the field lines are passing through it. Now when it comes out, suppose this field line is passing through it. Now when it is going out, the number of field lines is decreasing. The number of field line is decreasing. So in this situation, the number of field line should not decrease. The number of field line should not decrease. It means it should add up the field lines. It should add up. So when it try to go out, the number of field line is decreasing. So our field line should go in. Our field line should go in. So this is going out. Now when it start going out, the number of field lines passing through this area start decreasing. It should not decrease. It means the current should be induced in such a way that the number of field lines remain inside. Now it will remain inside only when the phase have a south pole or its polarity is south. Its polarity is south. So in this situation, a current should flow in a clockwise direction. So the triangular loop should have the polarity south. Now if the polarity is south, the current should flow in a clockwise direction. So we can see that when you are trying to remove this triangular loop outside, then the number of field lines going into it decreases. It should not decrease. So we should add up the field lines inward only. Now if I add inward field lines, then it should be a south pole. The phase should be have like a south. So the current direction should be ACB, ACB, A. Now the third loop is irregular loop given. So this is irregular loop. The points given are on the surfaces A, B, C, D. Now it is pulled out. In third case, again this irregular shaped loop is pulled out. Now if it is pulled out, again the number of field lines decreases. And if the number of field lines decreases, you should add up. It should oppose. कम नहीं होनी चाहिए. What is Lenz's law? बढ़े तो बढ़ने नहीं देना, घटे तो घटने नहीं देना. So if I pull out, the field line decreases. It should not decrease. We should add up. If we should add up inward, then again the polarity of this phase should be the south, and therefore the direction of the current should be clockwise. So it should be A, B, C, D, A. So this is example number 4. Now question number 6.5. A closed loop is held stationary in the magnetic field between the north and the south pole of two permanent magnets held fixed. So in this situation, a coil is held fixed between the two magnets. Suppose this is a rectangular coil which is held. So this is the number of field lines. Can we hope to generate current in the loop by using a very strong magnet? Say if you use a strong magnet, the number of field lines will increase, the intensity will increase, but there will be no change in the magnetic flux. And in the introductory part only, we have said that the change in magnetic flux, that is a varying magnetic field, is important. If I change the bar magnets having a strong magnetic field, the intensity through the loop will increase, but it will be again constant. So no current is induced even if the B is increased. So if B is variable, it is continuously changing, then the current will be induced. Here, if I change the magnet, the magnetic field intensity may increase, but it is not variable. Again, another magnet will produce a constant magnetic field. B part. So this was A. B part. A closed loop move normal to the constant electric field between the two plates of a large capacitor. So we have a capacitor. One plate is positively charged, other is negatively charged. And a closed loop move normal to the constant electric field. Now when this loop is wholly inside the region between the capacitor plate, so let us assume that the loop, this is the electric field lines, the loop is held normal. The loop is normal. This is its area vector. It is fully inside the capacitor, or in the same second part they have given, it is partially inside the plate of the capacitor. Whether the EMF or the current is induced, so we know that no current is induced due to electric flux or electric field. So for induction, the varying magnetic flux or varying magnetic field is required, not an electric field. Third part, a rectangular loop and circular loop are moving out of the uniform magnetic field region to a field-free region with a constant velocity v. In which loop do you expect the induced EMF to be constant during the passage out of the field region? The field is normal to the loop. Now again we have two loops are given. The magnetic field lines are going into the plane of the paper. One is a rectangular loop that is moved out with a constant velocity, and in the same magnetic field a circular loop is moving out. The question is, in which case the induced EMF will remain constant? The question is, what is the question? A rectangular loop, circular loop are moving outside. In which loop do you expect the induced EMF to be constant during the passage of this loop? Now see, when we are moving out with the same speed, the area of this rectangular loop will not change. That is, the change, say EMF is induced due to change in the flux. The change in flux is possible due to B, A or theta orientation. So that was the formula for the magnetic flux. If it have a n turns, then we write B, A and cos of theta. Here in both the cases, the magnetic field is same. Number of turns are not there. Orientation is same. The area vector is in the direction of the magnetic field intensity. So theta is 0. The flux is maximum. V is constant. Now how the change in area take place? So if I divide this rectangular loop into the small elements, all the elements, each element will be identical. So they move equally. This path, this portion of the loop is equal to this portion of the loop, that is equal to this portion of the loop. So area of an element remains same, but if I divide this circle into the small elements, you can clearly see that the area of this element will not be equal to the area of this element. So the rate of change of the circular loop changes or is not same. So rate of change of area, the rate of change of area, that is dA by dt, is not same. So EMF induced is variable, or the EMF induced is not constant. Here EMF induced is constant. So the rate of change of area is not same in this portion of circular loop. Fourth portion, that is D. Suppose this is a loop. This is south, north. We have two plates, A and B. The south is approaching from this side and north is approaching from this side. So this is the situation. From two sides the magnets are approaching. So the coil is held like this. South is approaching. So if the south is approaching, the south should be opposed according to Lenz's law. तो यहाँ कौन सा फेस बनेगा? South. So here it should be south, and from this side the north is approaching. So the phase or the polarity of this phase should also be north. So if the observation is made from this side, if the observation is made from this side, then the current in it is in the clockwise direction. The current is in clockwise direction. So this is clockwise direction current. If you are looking from this side, then the current is anti-clockwise direction. Now, if the current is flowing in a loop, we know current always move from high potential to low potential, or the direction of the current is in the direction of the electric field intensity. So if we have a conductor connected to a battery or a cell, this is the direction of the electric field intensity and this is the direction of the conventional current. So if I break a circuit here, the current should be in the direction from high potential to low potential. So this point A should be at high potential as compared to point B. It means what will be the polarity of this plate? It should be positive, and the polarity of B plate should be negative. So question is, what is the polarity of plate A and B? So the polarity of plate A is positive with respect to the polarity of plate B. So this is example number 5. Now our next topic is motional EMF. Now motional EMF is nothing but an induced EMF only. But because in certain experiment the EMF is induced due to some kind of motion, and therefore the induced EMF is also referred as the motional EMF. So let us define the motional EMF. It is the induced EMF produced in a coil due to change in magnetic flux linked with a coil due to some kind of motion. Is called motional EMF. So see, the motional EMF is nothing but a EMF induced in the coil due to and we know that EMF is induced due to change in the magnetic flux linked with a coil due to some kind of motion. So if in any experiment or in any method, if you do any kind of motion, then thus induced EMF will be referred as a motional EMF. Now let us consider one experiment. This experiment is also sometimes called U-shaped conductor experiment. So in this we have to consider an U-shaped conductor. So first let us assume this U-shaped conductor. So this is an U-shaped conductor. Now this U-shaped conductor is placed in a uniform magnetic field. The magnetic field is assumed to be going into the plane of the paper. The magnetic field is time independent, means you see the assumptions. B is constant. B is constant, that is time independent. That is time independent. So B is constant and uniform. In this we have a frame. This is a frame and it is in the shape of U. So sometimes we call this experiment to be U-shaped conductor. On this U-shaped conductor we place a rod. Now this is a rod. Let the rod is named as PQ. This rod is placed on U-shaped frame. So this is PQRS. Now it becomes a rectangular loop PQRS in such a way that the plane of the loop is perpendicular to the magnetic field. So rectangular loop PQRS is placed in such a way that its plane is normal to B vector, that is theta between A vector and B vector is 0 degree. So what will be the area vector of this rectangular loop, either going into the plane of the board or coming out? So since the magnetic field lines are going into the plane of the paper, we assume A vector is also inside the plane, inside the board. So theta will be 0. So what is the construction of this experiment? That you consider a U-shaped conductor or a frame on which a rod which is free to move. So the rod PQ is free to move, and we assume there is no loss due to friction. So we assume it is moving on the frame, U-shaped frame, which is frictionless. So no loss of energy, because we will see whether we study about a induced EMF or Lenz's law, the law of conservation of energy is obeyed. So assuming there is no loss of the friction. Now this rod length is suppose L. So L is the length of the rod PQ, and the position, initial position is X. So if I say PQRS is a rectangle, its length is L and the breadth is X. So in figure, PQ is equal to L and RQ is equal to X. See how the construction is been made. Now this rod is moved inside this magnetic field with a constant velocity V vector. So rod move with constant velocity. So we have to do the mechanical work. We move a rod on the frame, U-shaped frame, inward. So when you move a rod, X will change. X will change means the area enclosed by the loop. What is the area now? Present area PQRS. X is changing. So the area will change. If area changes, the magnetic flux, clearly the number of field lines will decrease. So magnetic flux will decrease. Now as there is a change in the magnetic flux, EMF should be induced or current should be induced. So we start decreasing. X is changing. So EMF is induced. When rod is moved, the magnetic flux decreases. Why? Because as X decreases, so EMF is induced. So EMF is induced. Now, if EMF is induced, the current is induced and the current will start flowing in this rectangular loop. X is changing. So this is a condition at t is equal to 0. Now let us consider a situation at any time the rod comes to this position P dash Q dash. This is the position at t is equal to t. So we have to apply the Faraday law. Also, you keep this in mind that angle between B vector, so B is going into, let us assume it is negative Z axis. The length along the Y axis. The length of the rod is along the Y axis. And the direction of V, let us assume it is negative X axis. All three are perpendicular to each other. So in this experiment, whatever formula we will derive, in that you have to remember B, V and L. All three are perpendicular to each other. If either of these two, we have three variables B, V and L. Variable means unknowns. All three are perpendicular. If any of these two are parallel to each other, then EMF will not be induced. The EMF will not be induced. That is also understood with the help of the formula. But you have to first always check whatever experiments is given, not necessarily always this arrangement is given. Whatever arrangement is given to us, if there is B, V and L involved in any experiment, then first you check that these three should be perpendicular to each other. If they are not perpendicular to each other, the induced EMF will be 0. Clearly, area vector, and in this situation also the area vector and B vector are in the same direction, that is 0D. So because X is changing, now the area decreases. This is the new position. That is the breadth is decreasing, or you can say magnetic flux is changing. So we have to apply Faraday law. So according to Faraday law, according to Faraday's law, what is EMF minus d phi B upon dt? That is change in flux with respect to time. Now what is flux? Flux is band cos theta. We are not taking n here. Angle was 0. Cos 0 is 1. So you are left with BA. B and area. area of the rectangle, that is length into breadth, initial. So L into x. This is initial. But the x is changing. So first I substitute this value here. So E is equal to minus d by dt. In the place of flux, I write BLX. Therefore, E is equal to, now B is constant, L is not changing, what is changing is X. So formula becomes minus BL dx upon dt. Dx upon dt. Now what is X? X is a position. Derivative of position with respect to time. This is called velocity. So what is velocity? Displacement upon time. Displacement means change in position. So position have changed. Now this dx by dt will come out to be negative. Why it will be negative? Final position. This is initial position. This is final position. So what is displacement? Final minus initial. So your dx by dt is not v, but we should write it minus v, because change in x with respect to time is negative. So here dx by dt is equal to minus v, and therefore E is equal to BLV. So this is the general formula. The EMF induced in the coil is BVL. This induced EMF is called motional EMF. So here E is called motional EMF. Here E is called motional EMF. Now see, B, L and V, all three are perpendicular to each other as far as this experiment is concerned. So this is one example. We will come across many examples where you have to find out the EMF induced. The logic is simple. Always use the Faraday law and the concept of the Lenz law. Now EMF is induced. It means the current is induced. So current should flow in this loop. Now whether the current should flow clockwise or anti-clockwise, that you have to decide. We will discuss the direction of the current induced in it with the law which we have studied in the previous lecture. So first you try to decide by yourself whether the current flowing should be in the direction from PSRQP, that is anti-clockwise, or clockwise. By the concept of the Lenz law, the number of field lines going into it is decreasing. It should not decrease. So your field lines added should be inward, and if your field lines added is inward, then the phase should be south, as we have done in this example 6.4 and 6.5. So you can easily predict its direction. Otherwise, we will discuss this in the next lecture. So till that, you try to find out whether the current will be clockwise or anti-clockwise. Have a nice day.